I'm never going to teach a fitness class, Elisa. Why should I come through instructor training? And we want to share with you today how it is for your everyday life. You might not think so, but we can promise you it is for your everyday life. So let's get going. Let me ask you this question. What have you known fitness to be? What have you known it to be? When you think the word fitness, and even that's why you hear fitness class or fitness, what have you known that to be? Fitness is often equating with having a body that is acceptable or a physique and a physical ability so that you can stay at the front of the pack and not get left behind. Anyone remember fitness tests in school? Remember those? Oh my gosh, remember you'd be tested and timed how many pull-ups, or if you were a girl, how long could you hang? Boy, that kid is struggling, like that face right there, right? Some of you, this brings back trauma for you. Like, it brings back stressful memories for you. You were the last one picked for the kickball team. You were the last kid to climb up the rope. You were the last one. You were the charity case when it was time to pick teams, right? But Jesus says in his word that the last are first. The first, those who train, those who are strong, and those who can run to the front of the pack, they're last. And what he means by last, they come up behind and help push those at the back, encourage them on, so that no one does get left behind, that we are in this together. Some of you have taken fitness classes where there's shallow messages, where we get the messages of what you should be able to do, or some type of penance to pay from the night before of what you've eaten. This pressure to perform. And let me tell you, there's a part of you that likes that. It's called your flesh. Your flesh is really excited. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna start at a baseline, and then I'm going to measure myself 8 weeks from now, and I'll be able to do this, this, and this. And hear me, there's nothing wrong with those types of setting of goal, but we get tossed around because we have not truly learned what fitness should be. So when we hear about fitness classes or fitness training, we go, I'm out. But meanwhile, we haven't gone to the Lord and asked for a greater revelation. Revelation Wellness. So I told you, I've been in the book, and he tells me his secrets. And today, as you leave here, I promise you, you will understand how you can take this out into your life, but also why the fitness, so that you don't push it away and go, oh, that's not for me, or even begin to see it as the barrier that, no, I'm not going to do that, because we truly really and deeply are not about the fitness here at Revelation Wellness. Does anyone remember this show in the 1980s? I'm just hitting the 1980s hard. American Gladiator. Anyone? Yeah, Tams, did you watch it? Who was your girl? Do you remember any of the names? Laser. Storm. Come here, Tammy. Crystal, cut to Tammy, please. Look at.
I don't think you can do it.
You. Hold on. We're live. I reserve the right to do a live puzzle. Look at, do you think Tammy watched American Gladiator? Yes, she did.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was the best.
Storm and Lace. Give me. All right, you guys. American Gladiator was this like an obstacle course race that they would fight against each other. It's a little bit like what is now American Ninja Warrior, but you would fight off with someone else, and they were big, and they had muscles with muscles. I mean, it was like this. What it was a visual spectacle, a visual display of strength and beauty, and the women had their physique, right? We've seen this. We saw in the 1980s really come to a high point. American Gladiator, American Ninja Warrior, fitness competitions, shows that have competing against one another. The Biggest Loser, all this has done, friends, is created something called diet culture. We didn't know it at the time, but it was just slowly evolving, this quiet pressure and expectation placed on our bodies and our souls and our physical ability that not everyone is going to be able to rise to. Not everyone's going to have joy like someone who finds themselves in American Gladiator and not missing a night and watching it. Some of us, like myself, just have a bend towards it so it feels more natural. But again, it becomes obsessive. But many people, and I would say more than not, because we know that because the sedentary activity in life of what we know people in the United States, especially, just we're less active than we once were because we're busier than we've ever been, that majority of people kind of neglect it and go, forget it. And it matters to God. It all matters. So diet culture, as defined by Nadia Craddock, she is a body image researcher, and this is her quote, I love it. Diet culture is a collective set of social expectations telling us one way to be and one way to look and one way to eat, and that we are a better person, that we are a more worthy person if our bodies are a certain way. Anyone's felt that? Have you bought into that? Right? So then we go, I'm never going to teach fitness. I'm never. And hear me, you're right. You might not never teach the fitness. And we're going to talk more about that. But it's just the word and the stigma around fitness. People go, oh, no. And we would go, yeah, we're with you. We don't want that anymore. We want to do something different. We want to show the world something more beautiful, what fitness was meant to be. Diet culture is rooted in fear and self-loathing. Self-loathing and fear. What does that best? My flesh. The part of me that exists disconnected from the Spirit of God who made me, called me, saved me, transforms me, and renews me. My flesh is dead in itself. And so fear and self-loathing is the result of not having relationship with God. It's in coming back to God, and we bring our bodies to that we are fully made new, holy, heart, mind, soul, and strength.